Oh, by the way, how's my hair? How's my makeup? Does it look good? Yeah. Well, I mean,
I just put on a hat so I don't have to deal with it. You know, just cover it all up.
Well, I mean, I've got my tux on because we've got an absolute legend with us. Besides, of course, the legends in their own right, JP from Cash Cash. We've got the dance and freestyle icon, Taylor Dayne. Guys, welcome to America's Dance 30.
Yeah.
There she is.
That's it. That is it. After that intro, I get a
See you later, guys. I'm out.
This is a self hug, JP. This is a hug to you, and this is believing, and this is never giving up, and more than that, 35 years later, and with the great Cash. I mean,
hell yeah! It's honestly, seeing you still doing it and doing it really well, it inspires us to want to keep doing it as well too. You know, because everyone gets tired once in a while. There's times where, you know, I'll be on that late flight, you know, or the early flight after a late night, and it'll be 5 a.m, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, no, like I'm getting too old for this. And then, like, you know, you 4 days of sleep, and then you're like, no, I still got it. And then, I don't know, just seeing artists like Taylor, it's just, it's inspiring to say, like, you know, it's only over when you say it's over. And there's if you got fight in you, keep going, you know.
It truly is inspiring because, I mean, Taylor, I've been in radio for 30 years, and there's definitely a lot of days where it's just like, I just don't know if I can do this anymore because it's, you know, 30 years is a long time. But I mean, you were just on, was it Good Morning America when you guys performed the song? And it was like the 80s again. It was amazing.
Yeah. It was the best.
Well, I mean, you know, part of the zhuzh is like finding the right song, and with JP and obviously Ultra, like I give a lot of this kudos to Dave Waxman over there, because I had a call with Dave Waxman about a year and a half ago, and I said, Dave, I'm coming to my 35 year anniversary of Tell Us My Heart, and I can't think of a better label than Ultra, and I can't think of and we were put together, and he put his thinking cap on, and he went and he reached out to JP and crew, and they got it.
And
really got it.
Props to Phil Nieves as well.
Number one in the U.S. And now I can't wait to go over the pond, because that's, you know, UK and Europe. You know, this is just 35 years ago with just a sweet smile on my face, because I know what's up, and I feel very blessed. And the song is as fresh. It's fresh. It's like, you guys killed it, man.
It truly is.
A good song. You know,
it's like we got to go bang it out live, because to me, it's all about performing these things. You know, performance is live performance. This is why you see me 35 years later, is because I'm a touring, you know, complete artist, and putting my package and production together, and really going on the road, and you know, with my fans, and
there's the merch. There's the merch.
And coming out there, and now to have this fresh take, people call me all the time, JP, and they're just like, girl, we're out in the club, we're in Greece, we're here, hearing your crap. This track is banging.
That never gets old. I love it when friends with a screenshot of hearing it on the radio or seeing it.
I got my gay boys calling from the clubs. You know, we're hitting everything. If you got all your boys calling from everywhere, and your girls, and just everybody, it brings, you know, I'm in the joy business, you know, and more than that, I've learned how to lean into that and really receive the joy and embrace from my fans, you know, and the fans that build and really receive that. I used to not know how to receive all this, you know, from what we do. What JP said is very true. You know, you get on that plane after 4 or 5 days, you're like depleted, and you're like not know what to do for. So for me, I understand that connection and that energy reciprocity now with my audience, and it fills me greatly.
When Ultra sent us, you know, the idea to be like, hey, you guys want to, like, you know, revisit this song and turn it into something like, you know, 2023, it was instant for us. Like, I remember listening to that song when I was like, I guess I would have been probably like, you know, 8 years old or some, I don't know, maybe 9 years old, something like that, when it was, you know, hitting. And I remember like my mom like playing it in like, you know, our living room, like and like singing and dancing to it. You know, or like in the car, like in the 80s, like I just picture my mom with her hair all teased up. Like it was just like the 80s was just so ingrained in Cash. Like you could hear it in all of our music, even our first record when we were more of like a synth pop group. There's so much 80s influence with the drums and the synths and the melodies and the bells and all the production. So we were just like, we know what to do with this one. It was just like,
so
we're gonna bring it into the new year, but we're gonna keep some of that like nostalgia, some of that like just that ear candy, like especially that one synth. We really spent hours dialing that one synth. We call it. It's just that 80s like. Almost sometimes we call it the KTU synth because it really sounds like.
Well, you're not lying, because sometimes to get some of that, just that reverb on that drum sound. I mean, look, I did it in the day. It took 2 days. You could ask Rick Wake. Some of those sounds, and they're legendary and they're nostalgic, but also they're pop music. We just as
it's all cyclical.
Resurfaces.
Yeah.
Those sounds are iconic.
And it hits a hit. It hits a hit. And a good thing about this one is like, you listen to this song, you'd be like, well, like, can it work today? Are people going to feel it today? Like, do the lyrics, do they work? And it's songs like this that are timeless because you could say yes. Versus like some songs you could pull, like, oh, that lyric, people would like be like, that doesn't work, now, and it will never work. It was a period in the 90s or the 60s or the 50s. But this song, like lyrically, it still translates to, I feel like, today's culture, and that's how you made a timeless song.
That's Swirsky and the writers,
Another great thing about it is that it bridges generation gaps, because not only will everybody from the 80s still love it, but every new person catching on to it is like, man, this is a great song because it is such a great song.
Hell yeah. We're seeing that. We're seeing that too. Like in the clubs, like we're seeing younger people sing the song, and it's interesting. It's really interesting to see that, for sure.
Well, all this talk about the 80s, this is a perfect segue, because I can't wait to find out how this song was born originally and now. But since it did come back in 1987 is when it came out, let's test your 1980s knowledge and see who's got better 1980s knowledge. Just
he was 8. He was 7.
I might have been like 5. I think I might have been 5. I got to do the math here.
Let's find out. Just buzz in by saying your name, okay? Okay.
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 So back in the 80s, of course, everybody was recording their TV shows and watching movies on VHS. But what does VHS stand for?
Oh, Jesus.
Wow, a tough one out of the gate.
Oh, video home system.
Let's see.
Video home system.
JP's got it. Yep, there we go.
Video home system.
Taylor, don't worry. I had to look it up, too.
I almost went to vehicle hob lane or something.
Now, what TV show from the 80s had a talking car? Wow.
Oh, Thomas the Tank Engine. Oh, no, wait.
What?
That was the 90s.
Wait. Dukes of Hazzard.
No, Dukes of Hazzard didn't have a talking car.
Talking car?
Talking car.
Yeah.
I'm all the way over here in LA. You guys.
Wait, no. Oh my God, I know this.
I'll give you a hint. Not day, but
Night.
Night Rider.
Night Rider.
Night Rider.
There you go.
Night Rider. That's right. Oh my God,
I actually started an episode of that, and I couldn't even tell you.
Did you really?
Yes.
That is awesome.
How crazy is that? This
So
is getting better and better.
When you were in it, did they have like the voice off dubbed so you knew that Kit was
Everything
talking?
that new green screen, and they had me flying, holding on to. I have a Polaroid of it somewhere.
What's that? I'm kidding. Of course I know what Polaroids
I have
are.
a Polaroid of me on set somewhere.
That is so awesome. I got to see that at some point. Now, what was the icon Jane Fonda famous for in the 80s?
Oh, I'm not good with names.
Jane
too
Fonda,
bad.
come on.
Let's
Let me see if I can.
aerobic.
Yes, the
Oh, wait,
workout
wait.
videos.
That's what he
The workout
said.
videos.
Now, which female icon in the 80s was the first woman to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Oh, I tell you.
I would say Madonna.
No. It's me. I just saw this.
Cindy.
No,
Annie Lennox?
Joan Jett.
No.
No.
I'll tell you this. She was a diva, And her career started before the 80s.
Aretha.
Yes, it was Aretha
That's
Franklin.
ridiculous because as far as I'm concerned, Aretha was inducted twice. We're on shady ground here. Because Aretha
Are
came
you
back
throwing
in
a
the
flag?
80s with Clive. So it's really, she was inducted. She should have been 60s, 70s, 80s. I guess maybe 85 she would have been the first because that was, 35 year or 25 year?
Yeah, it was 1987 that she was inducted, which is crazy. I mean, she should have gone a lot earlier. Now, what epic movie in the 80s is still arguably the best Christmas movie ever?
80s, though. I was going to say Home Alone.
Come on, with that little
90s.
kid. Stop.
Is that 90s? That was 90s.
No, this is in the 80s.
No,
And I'm saying,
little-
No, with the little fat kid, in the gun.
hold on. Let me stop because you guys are off the rail. I'm saying
he's so off the
A
rails.
Christmas Story. Christmas Story.
No, I'm saying arguably because people still debate whether it's a Christmas movie.
Home Alone?
No, Home Alone is definitely a Christmas movie.
Oh,
Die Hard?
Well,
Come
you have
on,
to
guys.
arguably.
Die Hard.
Yes. It came
Come
out of the.
on.
That is the best Christmas
I've done
movie
a lot of
ever.
drugs in the last few years.
Yeah,
I feel like I should know that name, but why do I not know Die
I'm
Hard?
going to start building my Advent because that's so not fair.
Hold on a second. Taylor, JP just said he doesn't know the movie Die Hard.
Why do I not know that movie right now? I probably
Bruce
do.
Willis, hello.
With
It was
Bruce
his
Willis.
franchise.
Yeah. Okay.
Yippee
Thank
ki
you.
I remember this movie.
Oh, JP, we can never hang out again. Oh my God. He's trying to Google it to see what Die Hard is.
I don't know. For some reason, that one.
Oh, JP, you let me down.
You need to just watch a documentary on Schwarzenegger, watch Stallone's documentary. And then you will watch Bruce. And Bruce, these guys, that this is what they do. They were action heroes.
Yeah,
The only Bruce I care about is Bruce Springsteen.
Die Hard with
Stop.
Vengeance.
Well, finally, which music icon from the 80s actually changed her name from Leslie? JP, do you know?
Let's go, JP.
That's got to be. Is that Taylor?
It is Taylor.
Yeah, but Leslie, it's just so Leslie Wonderman from Long Island.
Now,
Leslie is a badass name.
it truly is.
I can't comment on that.
Now, Taylor, did you legally change it, or do people still call you Leslie?
I'm going to start calling her Leslie.
You can call me anything you want, but here's the deal. Like I used to say to my mother back in the day, when I was playing like the Beacon Theater, she goes, my girlfriend says, I'm going to go up there and say Leslie Wonderman. I don't give a shit. I'm going to say what I go, well, good luck getting tickets for her because I don't see her name up on the marquee. I see Taylor Dayne. Good luck getting Leslie Wonderman tickets.
Was your mother supposed to have been so pissed like that you changed the
No,
name?
she wasn't even so pissed. It was my friend Debbie Fogel who just wouldn't stop. I know you before everything. I go, well, yeah, you know me since I'm 14, 13, 12. Like, what does it matter? The point was, my father's known as Daddy Dayne now.
My God.
They just call me Taylor.
That's funny. I feel like a lot of people they hate their name, and then sometimes I don't know, it might grow on them. Like for me personally, like when I was a kid, I hated my name. Like my full name is Jean Paul, and it's like it would piss people. It would piss me off because people would either call me Jean Paul or they would call me John Paul, and I'd be like, no, but it's Jean. Like it's like the cologne, and then I was like, I'm going with JP. So I went with JP for like most of my life. And then right around like 2009, I was like, you know what? I want to start bringing back John Paul because I actually liked it. I was like, I like my name. And it wouldn't re-stick. It just JP was always go. And like, it just doesn't work. But a name like Leslie's badass. Leslie Dayne would have been so unique. I mean, Taylor's great too, but I'm just saying. Taylor's a great name.
They're both out of a baby book and one's out of a porn magazine. So you know how that night goes. I was in Billy Joel. I was in the studio with Richie Canada and Rick Wake, and we were like, Taylor was Dee Snider because Dee and I was doing a record for him, and I was I just had my single signed to we had been done Tell It to My Heart in the studio, and it was a drunk night and just trying to put baby book, and Canada's like, well, we're having a baby, here's our book, and so we were like Taylor, and Rick goes Dayne, I like Dayne.
Dayne's pretty badass. I like the Dayne.
You can't get mad at it. It's stuck for 35 years.
Yeah, it truly is an iconic name.
JP.
Jean Paul. You should change yours to Leslie.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll name my firstborn.
Well,
Jay.
let's talk about this smash. I mean, I honestly can't believe I'm about to say this because it is almost 40 years old, the original, but congratulations on this song going #1. It is so amazing.
They never get old.
Incredible.
Honestly, I love
Thank
it.
you.
It's
Taylor,
all because of,
wait, did you say it's all because of me? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
yeah, it's people. It's all the people that support us, like you know, and for
No,
dance
just
radio,
me.
everybody, like
Just
it's
me.
you. No,
Just me.
it really goes a long way, you know, and it actually has its impact on the world too, because like I said, we have people texting us, calling us, oh, I'm listening on the radio. I just got one in the gym because they had one of the dance radio stations on. It was like a workout class or something, and you know, they sent me a video, and I was just like, it's the most random stuff ever. And
I honestly, I was coming up in our elevator here, and somebody was whistling it earlier today, and I was like, "Whoa, this is
No
insane!"
way.
Yeah, I swear to God,
That's funny.
I don't know if they were whistling the original or this version, but they were whistling it.
I'm pumping this version. I'm
Absolutely.
pumping it.
Let's talk about the original first. Taylor, is it true that the original writers almost didn't put it out because they didn't like it?
Really?
No. I wouldn't say they didn't like it. I think they would, you know, we're talking Sestaworski and Ernie Gold. I mean, I would just say, like, I got it off a little cassette. If you remember, I was graduated high school and I went to school with this kid that I saw on the West Side Highway. We were walking or whatever. I was hitting the clubs. I was 18, 19. And he goes, he was just had started working at Warner Chappell Publishing and he had a friend there. And I go, well, I'm looking for my crossover record. I had done a couple of 12 inches by then. And I was, you know, New York was like the place for music. It was groundbreaking. I was, you know, sneaking into Paradise's garage after hour, all these like very, very, you know, thumping, very, very club after hours because I was working in a Russian nightclub in Brighton Beach. And they kept me up till 4 anyway. So I was like, let's get in the city with my girlfriend, Diane. And the rest is kind of history because I met Rick Wake, but he gave us a cassette. And what they called it was a throwaway song because nobody had picked it up. So when we got this cassette with 6, 7 songs on it from my guy from high school, Anthony, and this wonderful woman, Marianne, that worked at Warner Chappell, this song was part of this group of 5 or 6 songs. So I guess nobody else had cut it. But Rick said, I like this one. Let's go and get the money from your dad and let's record this one. This one has the most crossover appeal. At that time, I was Leslie, as you would prefer. And I was, you know, I did a couple of 12 inches by then. One was called I'm the One You Want. These are very classic old records. And Tell Me Can You Love Me? And this was under Leslie. And that was Megabolt Records. This was 1985, 86. Yeah, it was probably 19, 20, 21. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. That led us to Rick taking this one, going to my daddy, writing up a little contract saying, you know, you'll get that $6,000 back, daddy, in no time because we are out there hustling on the streets.
Isn't it incredible how, like, the throwaway songs or the songs that are done in, like, 10 minutes or an hour are always the ones that blow up, like, huge?
Yeah.
Well, you know, we got passed on. It was a 12-inch deal. We got passed on Atlantic, this, that, and this and that. And I'll never forget, we were putting it out ourselves because we already knew. We could get the midnight shows. We could get the, you know, we could start crossing it over. And that's what it's always been about. Grassroots, crossing over. And I feel the same buzz with this, what we're doing now. Yeah. Because to me, we built here in America first. Woo, that's not how it happened to me the first time. It built in Europe first. And it was like a flash flood. And it built in the clubs with the gays and the LGBTQZIA communities. And then it started just zooming and popping up all over top 40 radio. And then we went in and remixed it just probably a little bit, just so, you know, we could have a dance. Then we did our acapellas, percapellas, everything that nobody had ever done. It's not like we thought it was throwaway. It's like that was hard-earned money, $6,000.
Yeah.
And, you know, I can't tell you what Arista bought it for and the 12-inch deal. And then you can probably only imagine 10 cents on the dollar, you know? And then the rest was kind of history as we battle our way back. But Tell It to My Heart is our golden child, you know, Rick Wake, myself, the team, the writers, you know,
so
no joke.
Let's fast forward 35 years. How does Cash Cash come into play and get together? Is it just presenting it at Ultra and reaching out to you guys?
Yeah, it's as simple as that. You know, David Waxman just, you know, had the idea and put it together, you know, just connected the dots, just a couple dots that needed to be connected.
I would say David Waxman is very entirely, you know, he's the brainchild. And then he said, you know what, Taylor, I hear where you're coming from. We had a very personal conversation. And he goes, let me see what I can do with this. But I love this 35-year anniversary of it. And let me see the right fit I have here. Because Ultra's that kind of label, you know. They have some of the, look at Cash Cash. And again, the rest is history. Here we speak today.
Yes.
Number one.
That's something that reminded me. I don't know what it was when you were, telling your story before, but it reminded me of like, from when we started to get our first start, like we started playing the clubs that we couldn't get into before we got signed and had hits. Right. It was just like we were the kids that would get like turned away from like 10 June and like Pasha, or like all like like the hot clubs in New York. And I remember once I was playing them with Sam, and I looked at Sam. I was like, remember when like we couldn't get into this place, and like now we're playing it. Like,
right.
That's got to be such an amazing feeling.
That little, little pep, that fight. Yeah.
Now, this might be a stupid question, but Taylor, did you redo the vocal, or is that the original vocal?
Oh God, no! I redo everything.
And JP, how many? I always love to find out how many V's there are when you start working on it to when you finally put the mastered version out. Do you remember how many V's there were to the 2023 version?
There was a lot of them internally, just between the three of us. We were experimenting with a lot of different vocals in the drop, like how we were gonna, different tones, like, was it ones like with the format, do we want it to lean more feminine, more masculine? And then we kind of found a sweet spot that kind of took a while to dial that one in.
Yeah.
But other than that, there were a few structure things that we did. We initially wanted to put a feature on it, like either like a rapper or like another girl. But then we decided against it. But who knows? I mean, that could be a fun, remix to put on top of it. I still think it could be, cool to just throw a rapper, give someone like 16 bars, someone crazy, like even if it's throwback too, like just something to make it even more crazy, like even a rap artist from the 80s.
But even if you don't do that, I mean, it is such a smash that you guys did with it. You did such an amazing job. Now, Taylor, as you mentioned, the original blew up over in the UK first.
Yeah.
As an artist, what is it like? It didn't go number one here in the U.S. originally. What is it like as an artist almost 40 years later for your song to go number one?
It's kind of like asking Elton John, or Britney, or like we're having, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just finesse it.
Rocket to the wheels fall off.
A great song is a great song. JP kind of nailed it on the head, and it needed just the right love and care, and it needed, it needed some real attention to the detail. But I mean, this is historic.
It truly is. And I mean, it's crazy because, we're kind of having a rash of these, like Kate Bush's song is like 30 years old, and that just went number one. Yeah, it's so crazy how stuff happens now.
But that song is amazing. Like, you're talking about brilliant songs and with brilliant producers coming in now and really, and then of course, I just happen to be here. I just happen to hit them notes still, and just really, really felt it needed its moment in the sun, and it's just a beautiful thing to see. It's nothing unlike Die Hard again. Die Hard 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, JP, you need to binge Die Hard this weekend.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
Well, Taylor, it is such an honor finally meeting you. JP, it is always awesome chatting with you. Congratulations on Tell It to My Heart going number one. That is so amazing. And I do want to give Phil from Ultra his props for doing an amazing job working it too.
Yes.
Absolutely. Guys, it is an honor having you on America's Dance 30. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Brian.
Thank you all, really.